Hi, I'm Tammy, aka Jeep Momma. This is my 2015 Jeep Wrangler Rubicon, and I've been wheeling it for just over 10 years now. During that time, my OEM plastic fenders have really taken a beating. My front driver's side fender was loose due to tree damage, and my rear passenger fender got damaged because of a rock wall. So, when Hooke Off-Road reached out to me and asked me to test out their fender flares, I jumped at the chance. Let's take a look at the pros and cons of these fender flares. Let's start with the pros. They're made from durable steel with a sleek textured black powder coat finish. The design offers an aggressive off-road look that really suits my Jeep. They have an increased tire clearance, which is great for off-roading, especially on the rocks. These fender flares are going to help protect your vehicle from trail hazards like rock walls or trees that you may run into on the trails. Now let's take a look at the cons. This isn't a beginner's install. You're going to need some experience with tools and aftermarket installs. If you don't have that, I recommend finding an off-road shop that can help you. The hand rib nut tool provided didn't work well for me, so I borrowed another tool. Now, the fitment can be a bit tricky, especially if you're working alone. This install can be time-consuming and may require extra adjustments. So I'm having a real hard time doing this by myself, lining up all these bolts. This install wasn't the easiest, especially for a beginner. It's going to be really hard. But with the right tools and a little experience, it's totally doable. Hooke Road provides a hand rib nut tool in the kit, but for me, it didn't work. It was a bit of a struggle, and I think I ended up breaking it. So I borrowed a tool from one of the techs at the shop where I work, but I still had to alter the hardware size to match that tool. I used aluminum 5/16 rib nuts, bolts, lock washers, and nuts, and a 1/2-inch drill bit for the rib nuts. Other tools I used were a ratchet, wrench, hammer, and drill. The first step was removing my OEM plastic front and rear fenders, which was pretty easy. If you need a video for that, check out the links in the description below. Then I installed the Hooke Road inner fenders, which I highly recommend to match up with the fender flares. These inner fenders help with the fender flare install by reducing the number of rib nuts you need to use. Fewer rib nuts on the front and the rear because they're built into the inner fenders. Once the inner fenders were in place, I lined up the fenders to match the holes on the fender to the holes on the Jeep body so I could place the rib nuts. Then I had to drill out the holes to the size that matched my rib nuts. Next, it was time to insert the rib nuts into the holes on the body. The install directions showed 5 rib nuts for each fender, not counting the ones on the inner fender liners. Okay.
Then squeeze. And then unscrew.
This was my first time using this tool, and I messed up on each fender. Go figure. I eventually had the guys at the shop where I work help fix them. Once the rib nuts were in, it was time to line up the fenders and insert the bolts. This is where you need to put the bolts in carefully. Don't fully tighten the bolts until they're all in. And for me, it was a struggle. Not just trying to hold the fender and insert the bolts, but getting them lined up. I eventually did get the fenders on, but not all of the bolts made it in the holes. That's where I got help. So I just finished up the rear driver's side fender flare, and I seem to be having a problem with these 2 holes. They are not lining up with the holes in the Jeep, so I'm probably going to have to figure that one out, but I'm going to go to the other side and try that. This could just be a one-off mess up. I don't know, so let's go to the other side and see what happens over there. There are rib nuts built into the inner fender liners, and when you use the inner fender liners with the fender flares, these 2 screws that come with the liners are a little too short, so I went and got a little longer ones to attach the fenders to the liner. It seems to work a little better. But I still cannot get these holes to line up. I think I'm going to get the guys at the shop to drill these out just a little bit bigger, and hopefully that will work. When installing your rear fender flares, I highly recommend 2 people to do this because it's really hard to line all the bolts and the holes up. And it looks like on the same side, just like the other side, they're not lining up properly. So I'm gonna go to the guys at the shop and see if they can help me do something.
The one I did.
So Nick, did I do anything wrong?
So I started in a corner. I got one bolt started, this one. And then I came over here and got this bolt started. Left it completely loose and just went one by one, getting the rest of them started. And then once you have all the bolts in, then tighten it down. So I think what you did was just put a bolt in, tightened it, and then tried to walk around. So you just put them all in loose and then tighten it all down at once.
Did you have to make any adjustments on this side? Like drill holes?
This side, no, this side went together okay. That side over there, one of these front bolts, I think it was this one right here, I had to drill out, make it a little bigger. It was good.
Okay. Overall, I am super happy with the Hooke Road Fender Flares. They look amazing and definitely add a more rugged, aggressive touch to my Jeep. They're solid and sturdy, providing both style and protection, making them perfect for any off-road adventure. These fender flares also help with increased tire clearance, providing better suspension articulation. The kit I have includes both the front and rear fender flares. For more Jeep tips and how-tos, click the subscribe button and check out my blog at www.jeepmomma.com.